Hey guys, Kelade here. Welcome to my Mythic Il'gynoth kill / commentary video. For this fight, we are going to be charging in with all of our cooldowns right in the beginning. We're going to use Endless Rage, Double Time, Fear / Warpaint, Carnage, Dragon Roar, and Siegebreaker. Now, the one difference that we do have for this fight versus the other fights is that we did have a limit of making sure everybody was underneath 40 corruption. So I am wearing less than that right now, right? Because we don't want the thing from beyond happening, because we're basically going to do like the strat that a lot of the Chinese guilds started, where the debuff that you see right now on the two people around me, this is the mythic mechanic. We're just not going to dispel it, basically ever in the entirety of the fight, which means there becomes a point in the fight where if anybody dies, you pretty much wipe. So with this strategy, nobody can die. As far as for essence is concerned, I am using Condensed Life Force as a major, Lethal Strikes, Conflict and Strife, and Essence of the Focusing Arts as a minor. So right here, we're going to get this little I-beam, right? So we spawn it right there, leap across the boss. That way it just draws it across the boss, because you don't want to step through the middle of the boss anyways. And also you don't want to actually walk through the boss. You want to make sure that you're either gating through, leaping, or some kind of like dash. If you walk through the boss, most likely you'll die. Now this Cursed Blood is the mythic mechanic we're talking about, where not once we get it, we're always just going to have it. Basically, it's around 10 seconds. I think it counts when you look at the timers. If you're using WeakWar, it goes from like 0 to 9. So I think it's actually 10 seconds. But basically, the circle does damage when it's like small, and also when it gets to the maximum size, it's gonna like AoE around it. So there's a little beam again. I try to make it so I take the gate because I didn't have my heroic leap up yet. The thing with this is that I think when we first were progressing on this fight, we try to make it so people's circles just didn't hit anybody else. And then I think then we realized, wait, it doesn't actually matter. Especially if you're a class that can actually self-heal, you don't really need to only hit yourself. You can actually hit other people. So right here, boss dies. There's going to be 3 organs, just like the other difficulties of the fight, right? So come over here, kill the first organ. My spot is just in the upper left within the organ itself. And then me and the Demon Hunter, we're the furthest ones in, because as you guys can see from my raid frames, there's a lot of range not in range. The healers, like, they don't really have to heal us. So him being a Demon Hunter and me being a Fury Warrior, we can self-sustain ourselves in here, because in this fight, once the fight gets started and everybody gets that debuff, you basically always have to have some type of healing, but it's only a little bit. You're only going to take damage when the circle goes to maximum size right there, when there's an explosion. Once the explosion is over, you can run through as many people as you want, right? Your circle doesn't do any damage to people unless it's going to be the maximum size, so don't worry about that. So right here, go back to my original spot, just DPS the boss some more, and then whenever you get a chance to, try to like damage the ads around you if you can. The other thing that will kill you, I think, so if there's too many people with their little circles all blowing up next to one guy and it kills them, then you die, right? One of the other ways is the little beams, like right in front of me, those silencing fields, or the fields around the boss in his immediate melee range inside him. That also deals a lot of damage. That actually does, I think each tick of that actually does more damage than the maximum of these circles. So you don't want to get hit by those. Another way you can die is that ad that just charged through me, does some damage, but that one is probably the least amount of damage. And then those little blood ads that you see, like on the left right there, that blood of Ny'alotha, those ads, when they hit you, they're going to give you like a stacking dot. So right here, I have an eye targeted on me. When you have that line, that means it's coming towards you. It's very similar to like the ads in Underroute, where they just like chase you around. Now, the dot that they put on you, just one dot, it's like, okay. The problem is that the dot stacks, and every time they auto you, it stacks. So right there, you guys saw, as the ad got close to me, I feared it. If you hard CC the ad with like a fear or a stun, the ad will actually just pick a different target. So once again, I got the I-beam on this fight, so we're going to just leave it across. Unfortunately, I got a lot of I-beams on this fight. Like, you can actually get through the fight without any I-beams, or just like a low amount. But right here, so the other thing also is when you're thinking about like who you can splash with your AoE, generally we found like tanks should be super easy, because tanks have so much HP and defensives. Right there, so when I splash on tank, doesn't really matter. Splashing on melee generally doesn't matter too, because of the melees that we do have, right? It's rogues, Demon Hunter, Fury Warrior, not really a big deal. We are 3 taking this with 2 Blood DKs and 1 Brewmaster. Generally, we don't want to splash it on the range, because they don't have as many like free self heals as we do, right? Because like rogues can always feint it. Fury Warriors have a lot of HP, and we can always just self heal. Demon Hunters can always just leech it, right? So once again, here's the second organ. We're gonna go ahead and stand in the same spot, and then I'm just gonna be switching kicks with the Demon Hunter. Now, as far as for like the organs, like once you get past the first organ, the kicks get easier because you don't have to worry about the other organs. Like every time you go to organ phase, they all cast, right? And the reason you want to interrupt them is because the cast goes off, they heal, and you just stay on the phase longer. This fight does have a 10-minute enrange timer. Now, when the enrange happens, you don't guarantee a wipe at 10 minutes. But I think like the one time we did actually go 10 minutes in one of our progression pools, like on the same night, we did wipe, but it wasn't because of enrage per se. It was more so there was just like too much shit going on. Because when you get to the last phase, there are going to be a lot of these bloods up. And right now the strategy is when the bloods are up in the very, very last phase, like right before the boss is dead, you actually just like master them with your druids. There's actually just too many ads and you want to kill a boss before 10 minutes. I actually don't know how bad it is as far as for like damage on tanks, because we never actually got to 10 minutes where we actually progress more than that, right? Because if you did, then you basically kill a boss, right? So right here, once again, got the little eye beam again, so come over here, and I'm trying to not hit people as much as I can. So I'm backing off a little bit, and then after my circle goes big, that's when you'll see me like eventually walk back, right? But this guy on my left is blowing up, so I'm waiting for his to blow up. Once his blows up, I just kind of like run over there to mine. And then of course, whenever you can get Dragon Roar in this fight, you want to hit as many ads as you can with Dragon Roar, right? So right there, I think we got the boss and 2 of the blobs, so that's always a plus. And yeah, so as you can see, especially if melee gets the the little puddles or the eye beams following you, it can get very, very crowded melee. Because the problem, if you step in the pool, you take a lot of damage and you're silenced, which kind of sucks because you can't heroic leap while you're silenced. So you have to like preemptively leap before you step over the puddles. And you guys can see how small my little corruption eye is, right? Because we're trying to stay below. I think I'm actually only running 25 corruption, like not total, but like after resistance considered, only at 25. The other thing you want to watch out for is that when these bloods die, and the ads die, they actually do like a small raid wide AoE. So you don't want to kill like 6 ads at the same time because that's too late, right? So boss goes down right there, and then we're gonna go hit the last organ. As far as for our strategy, we are gonna be lusting right after this organ dies when we're all in the boss. I think there are other strategies where you can lust in the beginning. It kind of just depends on your raid and what your raid really wants to do. And I think there's probably guilds now that are still gonna just be dispelling the mechanics. So like this whole spread mechanic, this isn't the only strategy you do. It's probably just like the easier strategy because you just don't worry about the dispelling aspect. You just worry about the positioning. And it basically allows you to potentially take less healers. So we have 3 healers right now. I guess if we really wanted to, you can probably run like 2 healers and you just try to burn everything down as fast as you can. But yeah, so just DPSing this organ down. The thing is, this fight in particular, we actually pushed a lot of the things I think faster than we actually were before. So like my cooldowns are a little bit out of whack. Like general strategy, I think as a Fury Warrior, is you just want to use your cooldowns as much as you can, right? Because this is a 10-minute fight. If you use your cooldowns as much as you can, right, you're gonna eventually get like a condensed life force at the very, very end, right? So you want that. What is that? That'll be 4 condensed life forces throughout the course of the fight, right? Just getting back on the boss, trying to get over here where there isn't people. I don't think this fight would do as much, but on other pools, sometimes we'll go, if there is limited room on melee, we'll just like agree like in voice comms that, hey, let's just stand together, right? So like, I think the pool before this, I just told the rogue, let's just stand together. But like right now, I think it's a rogue behind me. Yeah. It's not really a big deal if you just splash on one person. As long as you're not getting like multiple people splashing together, it's fine. Like if you look on my left, that Demon Hunter and the DK tank, they literally stand on each other the entire fight. So 2 people together actually isn't as big of a deal as you think it is. So I think when you actually progressing on this fight, just know that. I think everybody goes into a notion in the beginning when you first progress, oh, let's make sure everybody's spread out, but you don't really have to be, right? So here's another eye coming out. I just leap over here right after my thing blows up. That way I know I'm not going to do extra splashes on somebody else. I don't really mind if it hits me, right? Because I still have my enraged regen. I still have my normal health pot. I have rally, so I can always live myself if I need to. And because that's the thing, right? Nobody can die, right? At this point, anybody that dies, it's almost guaranteed like a raid wipe. The only way it can happen is if somehow your circle was like the smallest it is, because it is when you lose the debuff, right? If you do the mechanic, like I guess the way it's intended, you're supposed to dispel this debuff, right? You're not supposed to let it go on everybody. The damage that it does is based on the size of the circle when you dispel it. So technically, if you die when your circle is the smallest, you might not actually kill the entire raid. But because of the other AoE stuff that might be going on, you probably will. Unfortunately, my recklessness came up right as the boss died. That's what I mean by like, we actually killed this boss. Like on their kill, we killed the boss way faster than I think we were used to. But there we go, boss is down. And as always, thanks for checking out the video, guys. Feel free to subscribe to see more. See ya.